How do you think this team is currently handling the adversity you guys have gone through earlier this season?
I think we're handling it, pretty well. We're an older team, been through a lot of things together, and adversity is part of growth. And to reach that next step, I think we're going to have to go through some sort of adversity, and I think going through it right now is better than later on in the season, closer to the playoffs. So going through that adversity right now, I think is going to help us grow as a team and grow closer as a team, and really help us mesh. And nobody really wants to go through adversity, and it kind of it's frustrating and it kind of sucks to go through, but. The positive is that you come out on the other side stronger and better.
On Sunday with Evan out, we saw you play more of the five, and something I presume we'll see more as he's out with this injury. Just what's different for you when you're at that spot as opposed to playing alongside a big
a lot of it is just the coverages. Defensively, when I'm not the five, I just kind of switch everything, keep everything in front of you, and then when I am the five, sometimes I'll switch with the bigger guys out there, and then I'll be in coverage with the guards. So just trying to keep the coverages squared away and know what I'm doing is the biggest thing. But other than that, man, you just have to be super physical and try to fly around and just create your own energy, try to get out and get some easy points. So nothing really changes that much other than the coverages, and just remember that you just got to run into somebody every single play on box outs and stuff. So not much changes really.
Do you feel like you have more space offensively?
I think so. I think especially when I'm at the five, that 5-out spacing is tough to deal with, and obviously I popped last game and got a three in the fourth, and they had to switch matchups, and when you switch matchups like that in the middle of the fourth quarter, it's kind of hard to kind of get your rhythm back and everything as a defense. So just creating openings, gaps. The paint's going to be open when I'm at the five for DG, Don, Dre, all those guys. So it's a different kind of matchup. Probably it's kind of just a different animal. Rebounding goes down when those two bigs are out, obviously, but we get a little more spacing, hopefully, and we get a little more movement and just kind of a little bit more fluidity when I'm out there. Hopefully.
Dean, earlier this season, you talked about the mental hurdle of getting over, like being more confident with the ball in your hands when it comes to the ball you're shooting. Obviously, with Evan being out, most people look to the defensive end, but they also forget about the multiple shots that he takes throughout a game. Does that allow you to be more aggressive, more confident with the ball in your hands?
I wouldn't say more confident. I'm always confident. Obviously, the beginning of the season, I hadn't hit shots. My confidence is still super high. I'm still coming in, putting the work in. I'm shooting well, but I think you're not just going to have one person step into the role. Evan brings this team, and so I think those shots are going to be spread out through the whole group. And losing somebody like that all-star caliber, Evan is. It's tough for a team to overcome. But I think we'll go in there and just try to I think it's a group effort to make up for what we missed with him, and it's tough. It really is. But we'll fight through, and we've been through adversity before, so. We'll just fight through, and then hopefully his rehab and everything comes back. He comes back great and healthy. He's ready to rock. But until then, we just keep fighting until he's back.
When it comes to just being on the floor next to guys like Darius and Donovan, who continuously give you the ball, even if you might be struggling in your own right, but just having the confidence in yourself and also the teammates around you, how does that elevate that confidence that you have in yourself?
It elevates it a lot. It really does. Having perennial all-stars, truly believe in you, goes a long ways. But a lot of it is like if I don't shoot the open shot, then that's the best shot we're going to get through the possession, and it kind of makes it a wash on offense on that possession. You get a lot of turnovers after people pass up shots, and so it's kind of a selfish thing if I don't shoot it. And so I think that's the biggest thing is like you got to take your shots when you're open. And those guys, they truly believe in me, and that goes a long ways as well. But if I pass up shots, I'm being selfish. I'll hurt the team.
You got to stay level-headed at this point. But from your vantage point, where do the inconsistencies kind of stick out to you the most?
I'm not real sure. I don't know. We've had a lot of guys in and out. Had some bad bounces here and there, and people aren't shooting well. I don't really know where the inconsistencies come from. We're still out there. We're playing hard. We're doing the right things. It's just like sometimes things aren't falling. Loose balls going the wrong way, something like that. So it's unfortunate, but I'm not sure exactly where the inconsistencies come from. But it's early. We'll get it figured out. We get squared away. So
you're one of the most longest tenured players on this team. Is this one of the more challenging stretches that you've been through when you've been here?
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. I don't know if it's like the most frustrating I've been through. We did have a year where we won 17 games. That was pretty frustrating. But with this much talent and we're playing hard, doing the right things. It's frustrating to not see shots fall when they normally would. And I think that's the most frustrating part. Is we're doing everything right. We're doing the right, taking the right process and doing it. It's just things aren't falling our direction right now, and that is frustrating. But I wouldn't say it's the most frustrating thing I've been a part of, because we still have that belief. We know we have the talent to come out of this on the right side. So it's frustrating, but we obviously know we're a better team than what we're showing, and we just got to get some things squared away, go through a few things, fine tune some things, and I think we'll be back. We won't even remember this frustrating part.
Hey Dean, real quick. Sunday's World Basketball Day. We're going to feature on this in the NBA. What impresses you the most about how global the game is?
I think when I think like global basketball, I think like the Olympics. When I was real young, it felt like the USA was like, oh, we're going to get the gold this year. Now, I think the game has grown so much, and popularity has grown so much over the whole world that you're seeing unbelievable players come from all over the world. Obviously like the Jokic, the Embiids, everybody like that. They're like unbelievable basketball players coming out of it. And so you see in the Olympics, every game's close. It's multiple NBA players on every team, so it's like I think it's crazy to see the game grow as fast as it has, and it's awesome, man. That's what you want to be as a basketball player. You want to pass the game on, spread it, and just see the beautiful game of basketball continuously grow. So it's awesome, man.
All right, thank you.